All right, guys, we are live. We're looking at the Tilray stock. This is what it's about today, apparently. Tilray gapped up about 40% from 150 to about 230 bucks pre-market, pulled back about $80 down to 170, and then proceeded to rally all the way up to $300 before reversing and the stock got halted. Took out a lot. It's taken out a lot of people on the downside. There was a lot of people buying this thing as it was moving up. You can see that in the volume and price action. And now you have this situation where this thing is wild. We're not doing anything in this particular stock today, but we are watching it because it is um, very reminiscent to what happened with Bitcoin. Um, you know, anticipation of a lot of things, waiting for something to happen in terms of legalization and all that good stuff, and people are just blindly buying this, not held by institutions just yet, and so this is all retail buying. And so if you're trading this, boy, good luck to you. This thing is wild. Um, Not to say you can't make money on it, but it it is definitely volatile. We actually posted a picture earlier. I don't know what it is right now, but the implied volatility on this thing is just absolutely through the roof. Yeah, for 2 days. Um, 2 days out, it's 173% implied volatility with a plus minus of only 31. That's surprising. But you can see these 300, 200, and 300s on the implied volatility is just insane. Things rallying back up right now. There's the gap fill. Again, we're just watching this, guys. We're not participating in it right now. And if we were going to do anything, we'd go to the options market and do it. But even there, it's a little insane. You have a stock that's up 72%. It was up almost 95% in one day. Did the circuit breakers just kick into the upside? I think it did. You have a move from 226 up to 266, a $40 move on a $230 stock. I know this thing is definitely moving. Let's say 40 bucks on a $230 stock. That's a 17% move. It was less than that, but it's definitely a move to the upside, just like this move to the downside just destroyed a ton of people. We saw fat orders coming in. We saw $1 million orders at 290, 295 to buy. Why you would buy this up here, I I don't know. You're looking to lose money. This is called FOMO. This is called greed. This is called retail traders having no clue what the hell they're doing. It doesn't require any knowledge. Let me make this as clear as possible, people. It requires zero knowledge to make money in the markets. I don't care if it's penny stocks. I don't care if it's blue cap, blue chip, Dow stocks, S&P, Apple, Amazon, futures, options, commodities. It takes absolutely zero knowledge to put on a winning trade. And, you know, this is kind of an example of what's going on. You got people that know nothing about stocks, know nothing about the industry, know nothing about technicals, know nothing about trading or investing. They see it, they hear it, and they're like, let me buy, let me in. I missed Bitcoin, so I got to get on board with this. These things are a sure bet, right? Oh, oh, crazy. Let's check these other guys. Chronos. Yeah. Interesting how these other names did not make new highs and actually pulled back pretty hard. with Tilray, you know, really rallying up to $300 on the dot. And you can say it's a short squeeze. Yes, the short interest is high, but short borrowing costs are insane. So I don't know who's actually doing the shorting in these things. But if you were long, you should have taken your profits. What else is there? HIPH. HIPH. Premium Water Company. These guys are only 4 cents. I guess they're into CBD water and all that good stuff. What else is there? ACB. That would be Aurora Cannabis. This is the stock that McDonald's, you guys probably have heard, was looking at teaming up, partnering with. Looks like they opened it back up. Let's see. Tilray. Nope. Nice reversal candle in the 15-minute. Not that that matters in this type of environment. Let's take a look at the ES here. Literally been in range all day. 29.10, 29.11 up to 29.17. Not much going on there. We had a level lower on the retest of the overnight high down here, 29.07. We never even got close to coming down here yet. We could be breaking down. As we speak, we're kind of holding this downtrend right here, but not really breaking below this 29.12 and a half line or area, so you could see this thing potentially pop going into the close. We were right above the previous close and the open for the day. We dipped below that area early on in the session and then bounced from there, proceeded to take out the highs and then reversed, and it's just a range bound day. Some better trading activity going on in NASDAQ. We had an opportunity down here yesterday's open between 74.71 down to 74.65. Long opportunity. You can see it rallied all the way back up to 75.10 for about a 40-point move on the NQ. That's a decent move. You got 40 points to the upside. Come on, guy. $20 multiplier. That's $800 in profit per contract. And then you had a retest. Not the cleanest retest, but it did retest those lows. It actually double bottomed on the 5-minute, down close to that 71 area. And that would have been the opportunity right there. If you missed it the initial time, you could have got the retest. We get back up here, up to the open 75.40 area. We could potentially have a setup for a shorting opportunity on the NASDAQ. I'm just going through a few different setups right now, guys, different markets and kind of what's going on. We're going to move back to that Tilray stock in a second here. Russell actually has been the lagger on the day. We're down 13 points right now. Start off the morning, we rallied up and took out yesterday's trading high and really just reversed and been down the rest of the day. There was a double bottom opportunity down here for a few points on the Russell. There was a shorting opportunity up here. You had a few opportunities on the small time frame. The Russell has been really moving today, which has been nice to see. Let's take a look back at this Tilray. Yeah, it opened up again. So it closed the gap, and now we pulled back again. This is going to shake out a lot of people. You're going to see a lot of people get out of this thing right now that were long, especially down here on today's trading. It's going to be wild for a few days, I think, in this particular space. You're not really seeing that movement in the other stocks, though. You guys got to be careful with these stocks. In this industry, they're not held by institutions yet, and so again, it's all retail traders coming in and doing the buys. So. And the selling, so you're going to have to be cognizant of that and be careful with that. Definitely some buying opportunities in Kronos and these other stocks. They're just much lower in the totem pole. If we get back there, I suspect we will. What I think is going to happen is basically, this is all in anticipation of the perceived opportunity when Canada goes full legal with cannabis. for recreational use, and really just opening up the floodgates to all different types of products in this whole industry. However, however, this type of move in this particular stock is not good for anybody. And this is very reminiscent of what happened with Bitcoin. In anticipation of futures and all that good stuff that's coming from blockchain, and it's going to change the world and Bitcoin and this and that, and then futures come out and we're basically down 80% from where we were. Not to say it's going to stay like that. I'm not a crypto expert, but you know, um, market bubbles and euphoria, they usually play out the same way. And this is kind of the same situation. You may see a scramble to get into these things before October 17th, and it could be a case where it's, buy the rumor, sell the news. That day comes, and you'll see liquidations to get out of these things, and maybe have them pull back, and then that would present your better buying opportunities. But these companies are so new; they're newly listed. They got a lot going on for them, so it's one of those things where if you didn't buy it back when it IPO'd, you're just chasing it now at this point. Let me bring this one over with the time and sales on this one. All right, there we go. We got about 45 minutes in the U.S. session remaining. Again, we're just watching this. We're not doing anything in this particular stock today. It is absolutely insane. 27 million contracts, or shares. Excuse me. I'm so used to contracts. We trade futures primarily and options. You can see the news coming in, guys. Circuit breaker, second time to the upside. See if we can trigger a third circuit breaker. Ton of volume on this thing. Like I said, mostly retail traders coming in and getting involved. Yep, this is the new crypto. Yeah, guys, I just saw a tweet. Yeah, hard to borrow equals higher option premiums, and that's true. You can see that again with, look at this volatility now. This was just at 140, now it's at 400% for this week. We have 2 days left. You got, oh my goodness. So your one standard deviation move, your 16 delta is the 182, an $80 drop. Plus minus is 72 bucks, so they're overstating the premium. When you can't short the stock, the only other way to get involved to the downside is buying options. You're paying a pretty hefty premium right now to buy these options. So what you could do is you can go ahead and look at selling premium. That was what we were looking at, is potentially looking at selling premium. You take the 75 strike, you go out 30 days, you're at 300% implied volatility, plus minus of 230 points. So that would be either $15 stock or A $475 stock is what this is telling us, and that's just not sustainable. Um, but nonetheless, you can take a look and see. Let's say the $75 stock, it's a 2 standard deviation move away with the 5 delta. You're getting a $7.40 credit. I wouldn't sell calls in this thing for the life of me. You have no clue how high this thing can go. This thing can go to $1,000. What are you gonna do? Um, so in the very least, if you believe in the story, you believe in the space, you could attempt to get long by using options at much lower prices and really, approach it in a much more conservative way. A $50 strike on this thing, which is basically $200 away. You're still getting a $3 credit on this thing for buying power. That's not a lot. You're not going to use up a lot of buying power on this because it's so far away. $248 buying power on a $290 stock. Max loss is $4,700. If you want to get involved, I mean, options are definitely a way to do it because you're seeing what happens when you buy the stock outright. This thing is moving. This is a 1 minute chart, guys. Could put it on a tick chart and see what that looks like. Look insane. Yeah, not bad. Actually cleans it up a little bit. Got decent volume across the board, really all day. Similar size volume. This big down move. This is people selling. Novices selling, getting out. You see that extended move in terms of the volume, the increased volume. This 160 mark looks good down here. You had the market come down two times below the gap up. Below those areas, you have this consolidation pattern really after the breakout. This is really the origin of the move, so this wouldn't be a bad area to get long. Down in here. Just based on a quick view of the price action that we got going on right now based on this 512 tick chart. Let's increase that. Let's go to 1600 ticks. Yeah, it still looks good down there. They halted it again. Red, 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 red on the time and sales. You can see it. It's frozen. So that's the third time, really the last like half hour that this stock has been. When did that happen? 11:50. Yeah, half hour. We hit that high. What time was that at? 11:49, 11:50, right before 12 o'clock. Hit the high of 300 on the dot, and now we're down to 225. We're down $75 from the high. What a move! And in that time frame, the stock has been halted 3 times, twice to the downside, once to the upside. We still have another 40 minutes until the U.S. session closes. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing halted at least another time. Like I said, options are pretty expensive. And that's going to coincide with the stock, its movement, the fact that it's hard to borrow, the float is so small. I was reading earlier that the CEO of the company, the founder of the company, CEO of the company, he has supposedly 50 million shares of the 80 million float, something like that. And if you include some other types of interests, that number grows actually a lot more. So the share float out there is just so small. That's why you're seeing this stock move up, people getting the hell out. That shorted it at $100, $150, $200, just getting destroyed and having to get out. Now people that bought up at 275, 280, 290, 300, now they're getting destroyed. If you have no idea what you're doing, stay away from these things. Longer term plays, go to the options market. Up to the end of the year. bid ask on these things. It's insane. $10 spread on the bid ask. There's some volume though. Definitely some volume to sell puts. Literally no volume on the call side. You guys interested in playing on the options or in options on these things? Don't get suckered into buying out of the money options with premiums this high. You guys are just going to throw money away. You know, at least a tiny bit about options, you would understand why. You can't be buying options with 300% volatility that are out of the money. Even those out of the money options are going to be super inflated. So your break evens are going to be ridiculous, and the move is going to have to happen relatively quickly compared to how far you go out, potentially. Yeah, stock is still halted. Big orders. 1,000 lot, 2,600 lot. 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,200. The amount of money that you would need to sell 1,000 shares right now, it's absolutely insane. The borrowing costs plus the volatility. This is people getting out. This is people liquidating positions, selling their longs. 2,600 shares at 225 bucks. $4 million. Oh, 585,000, excuse me. I added a zero. Big movement. Anyways, through all that, what has the VIX done? The good old VIX futures. Not much. Not much is happening in the markets. We're getting a rally back up now. Seeing the squeeze. This is on a 15-minute on the NASDAQ. It broke this trend line off the double bottom, and now it's rallying back up to the open area. If you're going to short this thing, you'd want to do it above 40, I think. At least above 35. Into these wicks. Let's see what the Russell's doing. Russell is just literally bottom scraping right now. Got a failed really breakout of this double bottom, and so not looking good to the upside for the Russell at the moment. We could possibly be looking at a further move down if this doesn't hold. We got about a half hour left in the day. You could see some buying pressure come in. Shorts getting out. Buyers coming in. Push this thing back up. Not the prettiest of things, but you know, it's its own mini little range that we're in right now. Dow doing. Dow was climbing up early in the day towards its all-time highs. I think it's 100, 200 points away. But then we're just, you know, pulling back slightly. The rest of the day, not much going on. We have the Fed meeting next week. They're going to raise interest rates supposedly, so we'll see what the market wants to do going into that. S&P, it looks like it's finally breaking its little downtrend that it's been in. We'd have to get over this 29.15 area, which was the overnight high. I'm having trouble staying above this high. We got above yesterday's high, took that out, stopped everybody out, and then reversed down back to pretty close to the open. And then the rest of the day it's just been choppy. So not a lot of great opportunity in the ES today. Didn't get back down to our overnight low area. That's where we were hoping it was gonna get down there so we can hop on board, but never was able to materialize. At least not yet. Still halted. Yep. Look at the cash market, SPX for you SPX traders. Some opportunities today. We took out yesterday's low, couldn't close below it, or not low, excuse me, yesterday's close, previous close. But we couldn't take it out and close below it. Got a couple candles on this 5-minute with wicks below, but no close below. No close below. You're going to see the market reverse, and that's exactly what it did. And there was a couple other opportunities, small time frame opportunities here, 2907. Lined up with the ES as well for a few points. But other than that, early on you could have taken short this high that it put in early on, right when the market opened. There was an opportunity to take that short and get down to the previous close for a nice trade. That was really the best opportunity today, the 29.10 down to 29.04. It's only 6 points, but you translate that into the futures market or with options, and it's a decent day kind of thing. Looks like we want to just pop up, maybe. Putting in a wedge, triangle, whatever you want to call it. Kronos is trading. It's pulling back to where it opened. It's only up 5% now, 62 cents away from its open price. If Tilray's starting to trade, yep, Tilray's moving again. Ooh, that thing hit 190. I'm surprised they let it trade. Wow. Guys, this is something. $100 move in less than 45 minutes in this thing. To the downside. Wow. 192. Yeah. Like I said, this is people getting out. This is going to shake people out. They're scared now. I mean, you literally, this thing's about to get cut in half, it looks like. Holy crap. Gap fill. Pull back. Gap fill. Pull back. Wow. It's only up 14% now. $22. It was up $120, up almost 99%. May take this low out and see it bounce. A couple green candles right here. Stacked on top of each other. Right above our base at 160. I can't believe we're about to hit our level. Unbelievable. This is crazy, guys. I feel bad for everybody who bought up here. Yeah. This is nuts. Oh boy. This is insane. They're gonna halt it again. Yep. Halted it again. Wow. Guys, we weren't gonna go live today, but we had to. We had to see this. We saw this thing climbing up and breaking out above this 250, and once it did, in 15 minutes it went from about a half hour, it went from 253 up to 300. And then now in less than 40 minutes, it's gone from 300 to 168. $132 move. Halted for a fourth time. Yeah, guys, I'm just reading some of these tweets. People people actually think that they're moving the market. That's not the case. Individual traders aren't. Big traders could, but not individual traders buying one lots, two lots, or anything like that. Yikes. Oh my goodness, people are getting destroyed right now. I see a handful of tweets right now that came from earlier in the day. Oh, look at me. I'm long at 230. Look at how much I made. Look at how much I made. Oh, look at me. I bought. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. It's pretty crazy, guys and girls. This thing is a moving. Chronos. Only dropped to 11 bucks. CGC. Everybody that got shaken out, getting back in. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just, in the markets, literally anything can happen, and you're seeing it firsthand experience. This is going to be something that you're going to be able to look back on and say, what the heck was going on? What are people doing? Good lordy. Wow. Hmm. If it closes like this, bullish or bearish? Yikes. This $20 stock price looks pretty good, huh? Maybe that's where we get long. look at these 30s that we were looking at. The 50, actually lost value. The 75s we were looking at, they were at $6. Now they're at 10. 50% move to the downside, or to the upside in terms of the option premium. It's because of the downside in the stock. This thing is frozen again. Comes the NASDAQ up. Yes, trying to poke its head up above this 29.15 quarter area, which is the overnight high. Again, the squeeze, we had just been sitting sideways. This is 5 minutes, so it's very short term. But yeah, on the hourly, it's squeezing again too. We use a squeeze, we line that up with our price levels that we look at. We're really just all about the price action, and so we'll just have the squeeze indicator on there really for our options trades. But it helps to see that too sometimes with momentum in these futures. Russell's just trying to get up there. It's trying to move back up. Target would be up here at the 714 area if it does make its move. Got this little trend line right here. Top. Basically a wedge pattern. At the end of a move. This is not really the end of the move. A lot of times this is a continuation pattern, and you'll see the market continue to drop. But these other major indices are looking fairly bullish. Dow's still up 160 points. S&P's up a few points. NASDAQ is basically flat now. Russell's really the only one that's down big, down 0.75%. About 11 points right now. So is this going to play catch up to the other markets? That would be the thinking. And so that could negate this formation, which is typically a continuation pattern. So if we had a down move, continue to the downside. We had this on an up move, would continue to the upside. So let's take a look at crude oil. What's that doing? That popped up close to $71. Well, today. Let's go to the bigger time frame. Yeah, I mean, crude's been in a big range as well, from the $71 area to the $67 area. We were waiting for it to get below 67.80, come back to this area where this basically was the opening print in this price zone on a Tuesday. Looks like it was last week. And you can see this explosive move from 67.75 really all the way up to 71 quarter. And then it ran into this supply area, this top over here. And you can see that first candle was the market open. These darker sections are the regular trading hours for these products. And so right at the open, opened up in supply and then sold off. Came down, traded in a range for a little bit, and then broke out again and came right back up into that area. And you can see it put in that reversal and then pulled back down. I thought we were going to be able to get back down in here and take that back up. Never quite did that. Stayed above the 68 level, really. Never closed below even 68 quarter, and now we're back close up to this high. I wouldn't take this again as a short. It went too deep into this area. You'd have to look for something a little bit higher up. What you could see happen is this a high here, here's a high, swing high, swing high, swing high. This has kind of been a resistance area. If we look on a smaller time frame, we could wait until these spots are hit. Everybody's going to have their stops up here. There's going to be more selling than buying, and you're going to find an opportunity to get short above these wicks. These wicks are simply pointing up to areas where there may be selling pressure coming in, and so you basically have this big 4-hour candle, pause, and then another big explosive move down. And this would probably be a decent area to look in for a short opportunity. Actually, take that a little higher. We'd want to do it above these wicks. Somewhere in here, you could potentially see some selling pressure come in and a reversal happen. Other than that, you got to wait up until the 74 area. In terms of buying opportunities, you know, like we said, we like that $68 area still down here. 66 price handle is pretty good. We like that area as well. Everything else, there's just too much trading going on here. We need to either get it lower or wait until a breakout and for it to move up higher before we can really look for a pullback. I mean, this is decent right in here. This was to start the day, but there's so much trading going on right here behind it. It's not the ideal picture that we're looking for. Same with this, but the move is so strong right here. It makes this very attractive. Now you could possibly have a situation where the zone is from 71.11 up to 71.41. This wick came in here at 71.26, 27 it looks like. You can wait for a break of that and have that stay and still see some selling pressure within this area and basically wait for a break of this high, and then that would trap everybody thinking that it's going to break out, but you still have this zone to get over, and that could potentially be a short-term play. Yeah, I barely touched that. This is the top of the wick in there. That could potentially be an opportunity as well. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Just barely came in there. Keep an eye on that. Let's go back to Tilray and see what's going on with that. Oh my goodness. This thing is flying. Wow. Yep, that 160 area. Oh. Got pierced a little bit. But now we're back up at 188. See if we can get over this 200 area mark. This was the gap down on the market freeze. All said and done, at the end of the day, I think we're going to get pretty close to where we started the day at around 230 bucks potentially. We got about 10 minutes left in the day. Dollar's not doing much. The VIX is flat, slightly down. S&P is barely up. This is really what all the activity is about today, is this dang thing. Thousand lot just came in. See all these hundreds, 300s. There's another 1,000 lot, 992. Thousand orders right there, 2,900 on the buy side. They halt this thing again? Yep. They did. That's halted 5 times. That's crazy. So the circuit breakers go in effect on either side, guys. It's either if the stock is dropping hard, and I think the circuit breakers for stocks are 10%. They have different tiers, I believe. I know it's a little different for futures. But yeah, this thing is definitely, I think yeah, it was just the fifth trigger, fifth circuit breaker today. What a move. This is probably going to be halted, yeah, until about 5 minutes left in the market. It just went from 150 to 217. $65 move in a 5 minute chart. Look at a 1 minute. Hit a low of 151. And we just got halted at 217. Still up 40% on the day, $62. Wow, look at that trading. There's the gap fill close. Right in here. That's why we like that 160 level. Actually a little bit lower. We were too high up. 155 was actually a nicer area. I mean, when this thing is moving 10 bucks at a time, a couple bucks, not a big deal, right? We got a few minutes, guys, and then we got to jump. I got to get to a meeting, and then we'll be back on tomorrow in the room, in the Traders Lounge, on Twitch, and on YouTube. Be sure to check us out on all our social media. Check out simplyderivative.com. We got courses, we have coaching. If you guys want to learn how to trade futures and options using technical analysis, you know, we're definitely the place to be. We basically hold your hand and walk you through it and help you really develop a plan and learn how to trade in these markets. Whether you're a stock trader or you're not a trader at all, you know, there's a lot of information to know and a lot of things to know and what to look for and what not to look for. But you know, we focus on price action trading and really make our decisions based on that. But yeah, guys, check us out, simplyderivative.com. Follow us on social media. Be subscribed to our channel on YouTube and Twitch. Just started broadcasting today on Twitch. Today was the first day. And what a day it is that you can see with this particular stock. Again, we haven't done anything in here. We want to possibly get involved in the options market, but we're going to wait to see and go from there. There's nothing wrong with waiting, guys. FOMO is real and it should not be impacting your trading, so fear of missing out. Don't let that impact your trading. There goes the S&P. It's making its way up. Out of this range. Breaking out to the upside. I suspect NASDAQ is doing the same. Yep. NASDAQ getting up there. I wouldn't look for a short unless it's above 35 on the NASDAQ, guys. Russell, it's trying to break its way out too. You got the hammer candle right here at the breakout point. This could potentially be the launching candle that we need to get this thing out of this little range. You got support coming in here. You got buyers coming in, holding prices up. You got sellers coming in. don't necessarily want to short after a big down move, and that's where we simply use this upper trend line as a way to determine when we can potentially buy. If we want to wait for confirmation, if we don't have a level down below. In this case, you had this double bottom opportunity. Had to be in front of it when it happened, but you could have gotten long down here, 1704. You already be up 3.5 points in this trade. So again, we don't chase trades. We wait for it to come into our area, and we simply get on using limit orders. Well, we always use limit orders. Well, we use stops as well, but using limit orders to get in at a low price, or we can use stop orders for breakouts. A little more risky on the breakouts, much more conservative on using limit orders, letting price come down to your level. But it's a different mindset to have because you're seeing red come down, red, 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 and you got to be willing to pull the trigger when you're only seeing red, and that's what makes breakout trading so much more easy to understand and digest, and that's why a lot more people use it. Doesn't mean it's necessarily better, but it's easier to see some lines around a little range and simply buy above the range or sell below it. You know what I mean? So a little bit all over the place today, guys. Like I said, this is our first stream on Twitch, first live stream on YouTube in a while, so we're just making sure all software is working, all programs are working, and we're actually able to see this crazy stock Tilray going nuts. With that, it is 12:55, guys. The stock is still halted. It's going to be a mad scramble into the close. If you're trading this, be careful. You can see why we went from 100 or 300 down to 150. It got cut in half in about 40 minutes, and now we're bouncing back up. So volatility is insane in this stock, so be careful if you are trading it. Otherwise, hopefully you guys had a profitable day in whatever you're trading, futures or options. Like I said, this was our first stream on Twitch and our first stream on YouTube in a while, so we're looking to do this on a daily basis. So join us in the Traders Lounge, join us on YouTube, and check us out on simplyderivative.com. We will see you next time. This is Jeff with Simply Derivative saying goodbye.